Chapter 9 Finding True Love. Now that both kingdoms were reunited, Dwarf Hotot rabbits could play together, and they could get married too. This was an agreement both King Oliver and King Jack had reached. Finally, Dwarf Hotot rabbits in love with Holland rabbits could be happy in one another's arms, no longer kept apart. For a lot of rabbits, this was good news, as many had friends and lovers from the other kingdom. Upon hearing the news, Leah rejoiced. That meant that she could be with Ryan, the love of her life. But there was still one problem she had to see to. That problem was General John. With the war finally over, John, who wrongly believed Leah didn't want to be with her because of his role in the war, increased his pursuit of Leah. John spent a lot of time chasing after Leah, who simply ignored him or ran away from him whenever she saw him approaching her. One day, John was able to corner Leah, and he finally decided to ask why she always ran away from him. "Please don't run away," John begged. "Now that we are at peace, I have more time. I won't have to go to the war." Leah was about to take to her heels, but she calmed down and looked at John, who was standing beside her. "I really love you, Leah," John said. "I want to be with you, but you keep avoiding me. I respect you a lot, but I don't love you, General John. Let's give it time. I'm sure that you could fall in love with me," John continued. "I'm not only good at fighting but also good at doing things as a handyman, such as making a hay house, cleaning up the grass around the flowers." There were very few rabbits who could resist a strong and masculine buck like John, unless she was in love with another rabbit. "I could never fall in love with you, General John. There is no way." John was stupefied. No way would she fall in love with him. Why couldn't she fall in love with him? Was there another rabbit who was more attractive and healthier than him that she was eyeing? "Why don't you like me?" John asked. He had racked his mind trying to come up with a reason, but he couldn't figure out why Leah wouldn't want to be with him. "You really want to know why I don't like you?" "Yes, I do. We are well matched, we are both big, and we are both cute," John replied. "That makes us the best match, and we should be together." A laugh escaped from Leah, which startled John. There was nothing funny about what he had said, and there was no reason for her to start laughing, but here she was laughing hard. "You are right about that, General John," she said. "Logically, we are the best match. If you recognize this, then why don't you like me?" John asked, confused. "Because we are so alike. That is why I don't like you. Seeing you is like seeing myself. That is so boring." Now, John was even more bewildered. He couldn't make sense of what Leah was saying. If they were so alike, then why wouldn't she want to be with him? What's wrong with that? Seeing me is like seeing yourself. You don't need a mirror anymore. Leah chuckled and shook her head at him as if he had missed the point. John could not see the reason why Leah wouldn't want to be with him. No, I would rather look at myself in a mirror than look at you. Hearing that statement from Leah broke John's heart, but he wasn't going to give up that easily. He started to pee on her as a sign of affection, hoping it would convince her, but Leah moved away from him, disgust evident in her face. God, don't pee on me. Stay away from me. Now, John was frustrated, and he lashed out at Leah. I'm a general, the strongest and most capable Holland Lop. Who do you want to be with that can be better than me? King Oliver is the only one above me, and he is married to our Queen Lucy. I have no interest in King Oliver or any Holland Lop rabbit for that matter. That statement brought a frown to John's face. He wondered what Leah meant by that. She couldn't have fallen in love with a rabbit from the Dwarf Hotot kingdom, could she? John shook his head vigorously as if trying to get the idea out of his mind. Don't tell me you are in love with a little Dwarf Hotot rabbit, John declared. And is there something wrong with loving a Dwarf Hotot rabbit? Leah fired back at him. Devastation crashed over John. He was shocked beyond words. There were several handsome rabbits in Holland Lop Kingdom who would do anything to have a rabbit like Leah as their wife, and she had overlooked them all for a Dwarf Hotot rabbit. I can't stomach the idea of you marrying a Dwarf Hotot rabbit, John said as he grabbed Leah's paw. Let me go, Leah called out in anger. Ryan was already making his way over from the Dwarf Hotot kingdom to play with Leah. He arrived in the garden and saw a big Holland Lop rabbit trying to drag her away. Even though both were taller than him, Ryan had gotten comfortable with Leah's height, and wasn't intimidated by the male rabbit's height. He ran over to Leah's side demanding that John release her. And who are you? John demanded, annoyed that a Dwarf Hotot rabbit was trying to tell him what to do. Ryan, Leah called out to him in relief. Who are you? Little rabbit, get out of here as this is Holland Lop business. Any business that involves Leah is also my business. John let go of Leah, and he considered Ryan carefully. He couldn't believe that this was the rabbit Leah had chosen to be with over him. He was far smaller. John towered over him easily. Ryan might be cute in his own Dwarf Hotot kingdom, but compared to John, Ryan was short and small. Still, Leah chose to be with him, and that angered John. Is this the rabbit you chose to be with? Yes, I'm in love with him, and I will never love you, Leah said, holding Ryan's paw. Seeing Leah and Ryan hold hands drove a stake through John's heart. He couldn't bear to see it. He would show Leah that Ryan was nothing but a weakling who would not be able to protect her as he could. A duel, John called out. "Hi, John, High General of Holland Kingdom, challenge you, Dwarf Hotot Rabbit, to a duel." "You don't have to duel him," Leah told Ryan. "For my honor and yours," Ryan started. "I will face this Holland Rabbit. And for the sake of our love, I will win." Leah was aware of how well John fought. He was undefeated in Holland Kingdom. She was afraid that John would injure Ryan in the duel, and she couldn't bear to see him get hurt. "All right, darling, but you most promise you'll win," Leah said. Ryan leaned on his toes and kissed her on the neck, then he turned to face John. The two of them started to size each other up as they prepared for a fight. While they were preparing to fight, Daisy, who had seen them from afar, came running over. She wanted to stop them from fighting. She knew that John loved Leah, but Leah didn't love him and was in love with another rabbit. "Don't fight. This is a time of peace, no more fighting," Daisy pleaded. John turned to look at her, annoyed at her interruption, and he said, "This isn't a fight, Daisy, but a duel between two able-bodied bucks." Just like Daisy, Leah didn't want them to fight. While Daisy and John were talking, Leah led Ryan away, taking him to the persimmon tree. When John turned back around, he saw Leah and Ryan jumping and playing around the persimmon tree. This was what John had wanted, to be with Leah and jump around the garden with her. But it was clear she wanted to be with Ryan. "Let's leave," John told Daisy, looking defeated as he began to walk away. Daisy saw the way John's ears drooped as he walked and knew how sad he must be. John always kept his ears upright. "Are you all right, General John?" she asked him. "I'll be fine, but I would like to be alone," John replied. Daisy sighed, seeing that John thought of her as nothing but a little girl, even though she wasn't. She watched John leave, longing to comfort him. But for now, as he had requested, she would give him his privacy. Getting rid of John made Leah rejoice, and she looked at Ryan. He was handsome, and he had beautiful eyes. Their meeting under the honeysuckle bush was fated. Her grandmother had told her that one could meet one's true love under a honeysuckle tree, and that was where she had met Ryan. She knew without a doubt that Ryan was her true love. Despite him being her true love, for a while the chances of them being together had been slim, and this had greatly troubled Leah. Even though they played together, they couldn't get married. And when the war broke out, she couldn't even see or play with Ryan. Princess Lisa changed that as she made both kings reconcile and allowed the rabbits from both kingdoms to play together. And now, rabbits from both kingdoms could marry each other as well. That meant that Leah could marry Ryan if he wanted to marry her. Leah was a little afraid that Ryan wouldn't like her because she was bigger and stronger than him, and she was not very beautiful. They didn't look a good match to the naked eye. I'm strong and big, and I'm not very pretty. You are a professional doctor. Do you like me, even though I'm not beautiful? Leah asked weakly. I don't like you, Ryan replied. You don't? Leah asked dejectedly. I love you, Ryan said. You have a good heart, which is more important than anything else. And your fur is so silky and soft. Leah's tail began to twitch. She loved everything Ryan was saying about her. Is that the only thing you like about me? Leah asked shyly. There is more. You love to clean and never eat your poo. Since I met you, I stopped eating my poo. I started to eat garlic leaves so that I can be as healthy as you. Leah's mother had taught her how to clean herself and habits she shouldn't engage in, something that Leah had stuck to. She was happy to hear that Ryan had also stopped eating his poo. It's a good habit. We rabbits are already exceptionally clean, but you are cleaner than others. Some humans wonder why we don't use their water for bathing. Leah chuckled and told Ryan that not all humans knew the truth about the rabbit's hygiene. If they did, they would understand why they didn't use water for bathing. Since we bathe ourselves every day, we don't need to bathe in water. Yes, that could kill us. The two of them played all day in the garden, and the next day, Ryan proposed to Leah with a ring he had fashioned in the Dwarf Hotot kingdom for her. Leah was happy to see the ring, and she told Ryan that she would love to be his wife. They were in love and got married that very day. Soon, Leah was pregnant, and she gave birth to 4 mixed babies who looked healthy and beautiful. Even though John couldn't be with Leah, he was happy for her, and one day after he returned from his training, he saw Leah and Ryan's babies playing with Daisy. He recognized the babies, and he walked towards Daisy. Are those Ryan and Leah's babies? He asked. Yes, they are. This was the first time John had observed them closely, and he realized that they were rather cute. He had no idea that mixed babies could be as beautiful as purebred. They are so cute. What beautiful babies, John said. The babies started hopping, and Daisy watched them till they reached where Leah and Ryan were under the trees. John remained where he was watching them, as Daisy ran back to him. Yes, they are adorable and healthy. Didn't you know? Mixed rabbits are healthier and live longer than purebred rabbits. That was a surprise to John, who had always thought that purebreds were far superior to mixed. Really? How do you know that? I have a lot of knowledge, and I also know about many kinds of flowers. Wow, you are very smart, John said, interested. Daisy had a vast knowledge and a curious nature. In many ways, she reminded John of Leah. These days, Leah was over at the Dwarf Hotot kingdom, and he didn't get to see much of her. Thank you. I'm a PhD rabbit, Daisy replied. I'm impressed by your excellent fighting abilities, though, General. While John was bold when it came to fighting and defending his kingdom and king, he was a bit shy when complimented. Your coat color is lovely. A broken cream Holland lop like you is exceedingly rare. You are the only one in the kingdom. There must be many bucks chasing you. Yes, many rabbits chase after me, but I don't like any of them. John snuffled his nose and asked if there wasn't one amidst all the potential suitors whom she liked. There is a rabbit I like, but I don't think he likes me. Is he a Holland lop rabbit or a Dwarf Hotot rabbit? John asked. Daisy told him that the rabbit was a Holland lop rabbit, and she went on to describe him. She described John perfectly, but John still didn't figure out that she was talking about him. I would like to meet him, John said as they started heading towards the palace. You mean you haven't met him? Daisy asked with a frown. I haven't met all the rabbits in this kingdom, and I know I would know a rabbit like that if I've met him. It's you, stupid, Daisy huffed, realizing John wasn't going to piece it together. Me? You like me? John was very surprised. His eyes were wide open. Yes, I like you very much. Ah. Why didn't I see that? I thought you were just a little girl. Daisy snorted at John's answer. He had thought she was a little girl all this while, even though she had grown up into a beautiful young lady. John had been so focused on Leah, he hadn't even considered any other rabbits. Because you have been following Leah and paying no attention to me. Last time you were injured on your toe when you learned to dance, I helped heal it, remember? Oh, yes, you did help heal it. I'm grateful for that, John told her. John had never thought of Daisy as a romantic interest. To him, she had only been a friend. But suddenly, As John studied the little rabbit who had grown into a beautiful doe, it seemed as if John was starting to develop feelings for her. "What do you like about me?" John asked Daisy, and his heart is full of joy. "Many things," Daisy said. "You are a hero in my mind, and you are very cute when you try to dance." John felt shy when she mentioned his dancing. He was not good at a dancer at all. Whenever he tried to dance with other rabbits in the honeysuckle party, they laughed at him. "You are loyal and faithful to King Oliver, and I know that you would be faithful to your family," Daisy continued. John was impressed with what Daisy said, and he decided to take the leap. He told her that he liked her too. "Do you want to marry me?" John asked her excitedly. "Yes, I would like to marry you," Daisy jumped for joy. "I don't have a ring," John said. "Maybe I should come back when I have a ring." Daisy burst into laughter, and she brought out a hay ring, a lovely pink flower on the top. "I've been carrying it for a long time." A smile crossed John's face, and he knelt on his and gave the ring to Daisy. "Would you like to be my bride, Miss Daisy?" "Yes, I would," Daisy declared, overcome by excitement. John and Daisy married and gave birth to several healthy and robust children, just like their father, John. John realized that he was happy with Daisy, and over time he became friends with Ryan. They often watched their kids play together in the garden. "Are you moving to Holland?" John asked Ryan. "Yes, I have decided to move here. Call this place my home." It was another thing that both kings had agreed on. Each rabbit could live in either kingdom as long as they set up a proper residence, and now, several Dwarf Hotot rabbits had made the Holland Kingdom their own home. Several Holland rabbits were also planning to move to the Dwarf Hotot Kingdom. "Be careful, kids," John called out to his children. "They grow up fast, don't they?" Ryan asked. John nodded. Leah had given birth to her second litter, who were playing on the field with Daisy's first litter. Both were planning to wean them as they were all going to 7 weeks. For now, both John and Ryan were on litter watch duty, a duty both enjoyed as it let them spend more time with their children. "It's peaceful now. I only train the soldiers to protect against other animals that might attack our kingdom." "That is good," Ryan said. "You have more time to play with your kids." "Yes. I like this life. I also have more time to dance with Daisy," John said triumphantly. "Dance? You can dance?" Ryan asked doubtfully. "Oh, yes. Daisy taught me. She says I'm a good dancer. Really? Ryan laughed. Unbelievable. Everyone in the kingdom knew General John would never dance well. Daisy let me practice shaking my butt and tail. She said that it was good exercise. She is brilliant, said John. She made a circle out of Timothy hay, and I use it when I practice shaking my butt. It's really fun. You are right, your PhD wife was very smart, Ryan laughed loud. Hope to see you dance at the next party. Yes, she is. I'm very happy to be with her. She made me understand that true love is not only fate. It is important to find the right one, and Daisy was my special one. I'm really lucky to have her in my life. I feel the same way. Like Leah and I, we look different, but we love each other. True love is not only a connection between our hearts but also a silent understanding, Ryan said. I learned a lot from our marriage. When John got married, he had finally resigned from fighting. Now, it was younger generations of rabbits who fought in the arena. After he trained the new fighters, he had fully retired. The two kingdoms enjoyed peace and joy and prospered greatly. Lisa and Alex got married a few weeks later. They held a big wedding party to celebrate. Rabbits from both kingdoms came to visit them, wishing them happiness and joy. Both King Oliver and King Jack sat side by side and celebrated the wedding. In a way, Lisa's marriage symbolized a union between both kingdoms. On this peaceful night, may all beautiful dreams surround you, cradling you into a night of good sleep. Good night.